Hi Rita, Daphne here. It's lovely to talk to you again, but I'm so sorry I'm talking to you again because I really think you should have got your band 7. I'd love you to go back and think super hard about what happened on the day. Can you think of anything that wasn't quite right? Can you think of anything you did in the writing that wasn't perfect? Were you doing a computer exam? Were you doing a paper exam? Just think of all these little things and we can maybe try and work out if there's anything that we should be looking at that I'm missing. So some people suggest it's better for children to be brought up by the whole family, including uncles, aunts and grandparents, rather than just the parents. Do you agree or disagree? Give opinions. Okay, interesting. It's sometimes thought that not only parents ought to raise their youngsters on their own, but also other family members can contribute to bringing them up. And it is even more useful. I would argue that parents should be the only ones who are responsible, as they know how to discipline them. Very good start, that. So it's sometimes thought that not only parents ought to raise their youngsters, very nice, good on the grammar, on their own, but also, instead of can contribute, either also that other family members can, and I would use could actually, it's more suggestive, could contribute to bringing them up, or oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Also, you could put, maybe I'll put it here, this important task could be shared among the wider family. Something like that. So, excuse me. Well, I'm so sorry. Weirdly, having been so well for so long, I have got a cold last week. Like, we've all been, inside for so long, and suddenly when you start going outside and meeting people, you get ill. You think, what's this? I haven't had a cold for ages. Okay, so you could put here, but also this important task, okay? I would argue that parents should, yes, good. One reason why it's critical for parents to raise their children, parents only. I think you need to remember, keep emphasizing this contrast. So it is like a contrast essay, because you're contrasting, is it better for this or that? So here you're making the point, only parents. For parents only, or solely you could have to raise their children, is that they are more aware of their offspring's behaviour. Good. You might have character and behaviour. Children spend more time with their guardians. Now careful, guardians is not a parent. Be careful in English, that doesn't work, because a guardian is usually in loco parentis. So a guardian is appointed when parents can't look after children. So you'd have to use mother and father or something like that. And they are more connected with them than others. Parents can guide, you might put in a connecting word here, equally, because you've got lots of quite short sentences, look like. So equally, parents can guide their children to the right path and teach them right from wrong, as, let's get this into a longer sentence, as they know better than anyone else how to discipline their children. Now, okay, I don't want you to be repeating this line, how to discipline, okay. Why don't we put this in a bit neater, how to teach, discipline, and motivate or encourage them. So I think you can cut that down and make it a bit neater. So I think that's something we did pick up before, slightly tending to repeat what you've already said before. So try to avoid repetition and try to think how you could do it in a neater way. So stylistically, this is nice because you're doing 1, 2, 3 verbs. The power of 3 is really strong in writing. So I've got that power of 3 verbs, and I don't need this because I know that because you've kind of already said that to me up here. Okay. Additionally, children might feel more comfortable to talk and express their feelings at home. Yes. So again, because, as, yeah, for the simple reason that. So think of these stretching out these lovely long sentences, these connecting and linking really gives you points for coherence. I want to read a long, fluent piece of writing. I don't want to keep stopping for the full stops. For example, it's been shown that infants who are brought up by the grandparents, you don't need to repeat they, because infants is your subject. You don't need another subject. Have been suffering. Now, careful on the tense of this. Have been suffering suggests it's still going on. So I would say have suffered. You've got it in a passive continuous. So they suffered. It's not, you don't need passive. So I go have suffered from. Then it works. Do you see the difference there? So you just want a present perfect verb, not the passive, not the continuous. Good. Okay. Nice paragraph. Keep it tight, Rita. Keep it super tight. I hope you'll see. Maybe what might be quite good is if you just retype that paragraph just for you, but retype it with the corrections and then maybe compare. And you can see mine's probably shorter, but it would be more concise. Nevertheless, it's often argued that it's beneficial for parents to let their children be brought up by their close family, especially, good point. This means they do not have enough time. This means full-time work, which means, again, you need to connect this into a longer sentence. Full-time work, which means they don't have enough time to spend with their youngsters and cater. We cater for or to their demands. Good, now you've got that power of three. Really lovely entertainment. For this reason, allowing other family members to, and we've got raise quite a lot. We've got to take care. I hate this, but add value. Ooh, share the roles. But let's not have raise again. It's significant. Children could gain valuable knowledge from their forefathers. However, some grandparents, and then it should be acknowledged, because now this is what we call concession, which is brilliant. Concession is the other side of the coin. However, it should be acknowledged that some grandparents are seen as citizens and physically incapable of running. So incapable of running after a young child. If a child fell on the floor. I don't think, yeah, okay. Would not. I would actually go might not be able to. As they cannot lean down. Yes, consequently, children may suffer from serious injuries. Okay, yes, you might say the risk factors are increased. But good paragraph there, really, really nice, well done. In conclusion, it's perhaps true that sometimes grandparents can help raise their grandchildren up. We don't we bring someone up, we don't raise someone up. And teach some valuable lessons. However, in my opinion, children are only raised by them. Yes, so watch out for this word. Raised by their guardian, and that word. Emotionally connected. Good. Connected, yeah, absolutely. I really like the points you're making. It's a very, very well organised essay. I think you've done that beautifully. There are some issues here, just in terms of precision and in terms of not repeating yourself. So this is the coherence. And I really think let's try and stretch these sentences. This is two things. This is coherence, because it's easier for us to read a long sentence than to keep stopping. Also, it's grammar. So you're showing your skill in these connecting words, in the complex sentences, that sort of thing. Okay, so have a focus on that for the next time. Okay, proportion of income spent on 4 common items. So quite a nice little table, not too scary. The table gives information about percentage of expenditure of income. Good, well done. You've paraphrased nicely. Spent by adults. Good, well done. Overall, more adults of both genders spent money. We need that word. Money on food than other items mentioned, whereas young boys and girls spent most of their money, good, most of their money or funds or income. I mean, maybe that wouldn't be for the children, but that could be for the adults. More adults than children spent on food, at 25%, good. By contrast, there were more children who allocated their funds. Now we allocate something to something. Electronic equipment and adults at 23 for the former and 5 for the latter. Almost 2/5 of children's expenditure went to music, while only 1/5, very, very nice, good. So my colleague Ellen always says, if you start with fractions, continue with fractions. Well done. A small amount of money was spent by adults on videos at 1%. Good, absolutely. So you might have, so in contrast, so I want to make a contrast between the sentence you've just given me, in contrast of noticeably small amount, because you want to draw attention to that, because that really is a contrast there to children's expenditure. Good, at 12. Both women and men spent half amount of money. We've got this verb spent the whole time. Why don't we have allocated? Do you remember once I think you gave me some vocab at the top there? Allocated, assigned is a really good one. Allowed. Think of the language. You're confident on this. Your task ones are super good, but boost it with some really good language. On music, only 1% of women spent on half this number was spent. So if you count the spents you've got all the time, if you just did a few different verbs in there, that would make a really big difference. Well done. Very, very good. I like that answer. I really like how you do the task ones. You've got great clarity. So let's just boost the language there. Think of vocabulary. Well done, Rita. Well done.